What if the most dangerous woman in history wasn't beautiful at all, but still made two of the most powerful men on earth destroy everything they built just to please her? Imagine this. A 21-year-old girl steps off a boat in Rome. She's not the glamorous Hollywood queen you see in movies. No glowing skin, no perfect face, just a sharp nose, strong jaw, and eyes that look straight through you like she's already won the game before it even started. She walks into the most powerful city on the planet carrying a secret that will change the world forever. Her name is Cleopatra, and she is about to make Julius Caesar, the man who conquered half the known world, fall so hard that he risks everything for her. This isn't a love story. This is a thriller. Welcome to Dark History Files. If you love stories that school never taught you, the dark ones that actually shaped our world, hit subscribe right now and turn on notifications. We drop a new one every week. Don't miss what's coming next. Now let's begin. The year is 69 BC. Egypt is dying. The Nile is still flooding every year, but the kingdom is broke, weak, and surrounded by hungry Roman wolves. Cleopatra is born into this mess, the daughter of a weak king who spends more time drunk than ruling. Her family, the Ptolemies, are Greek invaders who have sat on the Egyptian throne for 250 years. They don't even speak the language of the people they rule. But Cleopatra does. While her brothers and sisters fight like rabid dogs for the crown, this teenage girl locks herself in a room and studies. She learns Egyptian. She learns Hebrew. She learns Arabic. She masters 9 languages before she turns 20. She reads philosophy, mathematics, poisons, and politics like other girls read poetry. She is not beautiful. Ancient coins show it clearly. Hooked nose, sharp chin, intense stare. Roman writers later admitted it. Her beauty was not altogether incomparable. What they feared was something far more dangerous. Her mind, her voice, her ability to make powerful men believe she was their destiny. At 18, her father dies. Her younger brother Ptolemy 13 becomes king, and her husband, because that's how the sick Ptolemy family did things. Cleopatra refuses to be a puppet. She starts plotting. 2 years later, she is exiled, broke, alone, hunted. But she doesn't cry. She plans. She sails to Rome in secret. She hides inside a carpet. She has herself unrolled like a gift right at the feet of Julius Caesar, the most powerful man alive. Picture the scene. Caesar is 52, battle-hardened, tired of politics. One look at this 21-year-old girl who speaks perfect Greek and Egyptian, who quotes philosophy, who looks him dead in the eye without fear, and something inside him breaks. He doesn't just sleep with her. He puts her back on the throne. He kills her brother. He gives her a son, Caesarion, and starts calling him his heir. Rome is shocked. Senators whisper that Cleopatra has bewitched him with magic. But it wasn't magic. It was strategy. She knew Caesar wanted Egypt's grain, gold, and power. She gave him a reason to take it, while keeping Egypt independent in name. For 2 years they rule together. Cleopatra lives like a queen in Rome. Then Caesar is stabbed 23 times on the Senate floor. Blood everywhere. Chaos. Cleopatra watches from the shadows as her protector dies. She doesn't scream. She doesn't run. She sails back to Egypt with her son and starts planning her next move. Enter Mark Antony. The crazy part? Antony was Caesar's best friend. The man who stood over Caesar's dead body and swore revenge. Now he needs Egypt's money and navy to fight his own civil war against Octavian. He summons Cleopatra to meet him in Tarsus. She doesn't come running like a desperate woman. She arrives like a goddess. Golden barge, purple sails, music floating across the water. She lies under a golden canopy dressed as the goddess Isis. Incense, flowers, servants fanning her. Antony, the tough Roman general, is stunned. He invites her to dinner. She refuses and invites him to her ship instead. He goes. That night changes everything. She doesn't seduce him with her body alone. She speaks to him like an equal. She promises him the wealth of Egypt. She promises him a future bigger than Rome. She promises him a world where East and West become one empire, ruled by them. Antony falls completely. He leaves his Roman wife. He gives Cleopatra 3 more children. He starts dressing like an Egyptian king. He gives her parts of the Roman Empire as gifts. Rome explodes with rage. Octavian, Caesar's adopted son, starts spreading the ultimate propaganda. Cleopatra is a whore, a witch, a foreign danger who has turned Antony into a traitor. But the truth is darker. Cleopatra wasn't a victim of love. She was using both Caesar and Antony the same way a chess master uses pieces. Egypt was tiny compared to Rome. Her only weapon was her brain, and her ability to make men believe they needed her more than she needed them. For years they lived like gods in Alexandria. Banquets that last days. Parades. Power. Then the twist no one saw coming. Octavian declares war, not on Antony, but on Cleopatra. He calls her the real enemy, the foreign queen trying to destroy Rome. The Battle of Actium, 31 BC, the greatest naval battle in ancient history. Antony's huge fleet against Octavian's smaller, faster ships. Cleopatra is right there on her own ship, commanding part of the fleet. The battle turns into chaos. Smoke, blood, screams across the water. Suddenly, Cleopatra's ship breaks formation and sails away. Antony sees her leaving and does the unthinkable. He abandons his entire fleet and follows her like a lovesick boy. His soldiers watch their general sail away after a woman. Morale collapses. The battle is lost in minutes. Back in Alexandria, Antony is broken. He drinks. He rages. He blames her. Then he blames himself. Cleopatra locks herself in her mausoleum with her treasures and servants. She sends messengers telling Antony she is already dead. The final twist. Antony hears the news and falls on his sword. But he doesn't die immediately. They carry his bleeding body to her mausoleum. She lowers ropes from a window and pulls him up, still alive, bleeding everywhere. He dies in her arms. Now Cleopatra is alone. Octavian's army is marching into Alexandria. She knows what's coming. She will be paraded through Rome in chains, humiliated, forced to watch her children marched as prisoners. She refuses. She takes a bath. She puts on her royal robes. She sends a message to Octavian asking for one last meeting. While he prepares, she has a servant bring her a basket of figs. Inside the basket is a small Egyptian cobra. She holds the snake to her breast. One bite. She dies smiling. Or at least that's the story Rome told. Some historians now believe she used poison hidden in a hairpin. Others think Octavian had her killed and made it look like suicide so he could look merciful. Either way, the last pharaoh of Egypt was gone. Her son Caesarion was executed. Her 3 children with Antony were taken to Rome and raised by Octavian's sister, the same woman Antony had abandoned. Egypt became a Roman province. The 3,000-year-old civilization ended with one woman. But here's the darkest reveal of all. Cleopatra was never trying to be the most beautiful woman in the world. She was trying to be the most powerful. She spoke the language of the people when no Greek ruler before her did. She studied poisons so she could choose her own death. She turned 2 of the deadliest Roman generals into her weapons. She played the game so well that even after she lost, Rome had to spend centuries destroying her reputation so no other woman would ever try the same thing. Her beauty was the myth they created so people wouldn't fear the real truth. A woman with a sharp mind and zero fear could bring empires to their knees. That is why they called her dangerous. Not because she was pretty, but because she was brilliant. And for 2,000 years, that truth has terrified every man who heard her story. So what do you think now? Was Cleopatra the ultimate victim of love, or the most calculated player the ancient world ever saw? Drop your answer in the comments. Be honest. If this story hit you different, if you want more dark, untold history that actually changes how you see the world, then do this right now. Smash that subscribe button. Turn on the bell. This is Dark History Files. We don't do safe stories. We do the ones they tried to bury. Next week I'm dropping another one that's even darker. You don't want to miss it. Thank you for watching till the end. See you in the next chapter, if you dare.